Never changed your oil? Inside sludge and heat build. Most drivers assume it's fine. However, the engine will pay. Experts warn this. Under severe service, change oil every 5,000 kilometers or 3,000 miles, about 3 months. I'm Morgan Lane, a certified automotive safety specialist, and you're watching Recall Roadmap with Morgan. I've seen engines seize on the highway from this exact mistake. What really happens if you skip oil changes? Even a smooth engine depends on clean oil to cushion, cool, and carry away grit. Over time, the additives fade, the oil darkens, and sticky sludge begins to grow. That sludge can choke the oil pickup and the tiny passages that feed bearings. Then oil pressure drops, heat spikes, and metal starts to wear. Fresh oil is cheap insurance. In this video, I'll show the breakdown, the damage, the on-road risks, and safe fixes you can do now. Owners and drivers, how often do you really change oil? Be honest. Up next, the unseen chain reaction and what fails first. Oil cools and smooths moving parts. However, it doesn't last forever. Heat and oxidation darken and thicken it. Metal shavings and fuel contaminate the mix. Inside the engine, oxygen and heat slowly change the oil's chemistry. The extra chemicals in oil, called additives, break down. Detergents, anti-wear, and friction helpers fade. Color darkens. Molecules link up. The liquid turns thicker and tacky. Soot, dirt, and tiny metal add to the mess. The filter traps what it can, but a loaded filter can bypass and send gritty oil back through the engine. Speed to value. By about 5,000 miles, some testing suggests wear protection may drop by roughly half, depending on how and where you drive. Even the best oils still oxidize, which is why I mark changes on a calendar. Short trips and stop and go make it worse because water and fuel collect and make acids. Most of us drive what the manual calls severe service. As oil thickens, the pump works harder, the pickup screen can clog, and thin passages start to narrow. Next, that thicker oil starves parts. That is where the damage begins. Dirty oil can't reach critical parts. Parts move with metal on metal grind. No lubrication means fast wear. Noise and damage are next. First sign: a sharp tapping from the top of the engine. Hydraulic lifters, the tiny valve parts that rely on oil pressure, start ingesting air when pressure falls. They clatter and rattle. Speed to value. If the oil light flickers and you hear valve noise, that is an urgent oil shortage. Next stage: rod bearings on the crankshaft knock. A hard metallic thump when you accelerate. That sound means the oil film is gone. Every second adds heat and scuffs the bearing. As sludge crowds the pickup, the pump struggles to feed anything. Pressure drops. Then the worst ending arrives. The knock goes quiet. The engine locks. That dead silence is a seized motor. I still remember one car that rolled in on a tow. The knock was a drumbeat. Minutes later, nothing. If that light comes on, do not push it. Pull over safe, stop the car, shut it off, and get a tow. Next, what this failure feels like on the road. Your engine stalls on highway. Now power steering and brakes fail. The wheel turns heavy in your hands. You might not stop in time. When the engine stops, it stops driving the steering pump. The wheel gets stiff fast and lane changes feel scary. The brake booster also loses vacuum, so the pedal turns hard after 1 or 2 presses. Speed to value. If the engine stalls, the steering pump no longer works, and the car becomes very hard to control. This is why oil neglect is not just a repair bill, it is a safety risk. If the oil pressure light comes on, do not try to limp home. Signal, coast to the shoulder, hazards on, and shut it down. Call a tow. Protect the engine and yourself. If this is helping you stay safer, please subscribe to Recall Roadmap with Morgan. I share simple, proven car care to keep you ahead, and a quick like or share might save a friend a tow. Up next, how to avoid this mess in the first place. You're late on oil change. Stop. Don't use harsh flushes. Just change the oil and filter. Then set reminders to prevent it. If the oil is old or sludgy, skip strong engine flushes on a high-mileage motor. They can break chunks loose and clog tiny passages. Instead, drain the oil, replace the filter, and refill with the exact viscosity and spec in your owner's manual, like 5W30. 2 clean oil changes, a few weeks apart, gently dilute sludge and often restore pressure. Going forward, check the dipstick once a month and change oil at least once a year, even with low miles. Most of us drive severe service, so aim for every 5,000 kilometers or 6 months. Oil life monitors only estimate short trips and stop-and-go foul oil faster. Use the filter your car maker recommends. While you are in maintenance mode, freshen the cabin with Chemical Guy's Total Interior Cleaner and Protectant. 1 bottle works on plastic, vinyl, leather, and glass, lifting dust and fingerprints and adding UV protection with no greasy feel. For details, check the link in the description. Next, if you are car shopping, know the red flags and what recalls do and do not cover. Fresh oil is cheap insurance. A jug costs little. A seized engine costs thousands. Keep it simple. Follow the manual, use the right filter, and stay ahead. If you're shopping used, look for neglect. Pop the oil cap and peek inside. Heavy brown deposits or tar-like goo are bad signs. Pull the dipstick. Very dark, gritty oil is another. Ask for service records. No oil change receipts? Walk away. Get a pre-purchase scan. A history of low oil pressure or change oil warnings points to past starvation. One more truth. Recalls fix maker defects, not missed maintenance. They will not cover sludge damage from skipped oil changes. Your habits decide how long the engine lives. Thanks for watching. If this helped, please subscribe, like, and share. Which tip will you use first, regular checks or a stricter change schedule?